In chapter 3, he starts talking about seeking approval, which, just to be clear, no more Mr. Nice Guy. The nice guy is what today we call a simp, or the world does. I hate that word. Okay. And the reality is this is a man who's looking for, first and foremost, approval and validation of the man he is. So some of the things, this is a good exercise to go through Breaking Free Activity 4, where you start to identify, what do I do to look for approval? The problem is it's got some conflicting interests involved.
That's right. Well, and activity 4, and when I think about my life, I'm a guy who likes to wear nice clothes. I have an aesthetic mindset about how I present myself in the world. I had students for years that called me Fancy James because of the types of clothes that I wore. I like to wear embroidered Italian clothes and French clothes and English clothes because I just love the way it looks. But at the same time, as I begin to conquer this monster, reflecting on some of these things, like Dr. Glover says, was actually very healthy for me, because I realized, wow, I love this stuff. I love having a clean car. I love staying sober. I love being a person who, works well and dresses well and respects women, but because that's who I am out of my character. However, when I started really peeling back the layers, I realized that if I weren't these things, I would be I would not be valuable. I would not be loved. I would not be successful. I would not be who I thought I was.
I love how this went, because if you guys understand that relationships are value, so that means you need to be valuable. That means most of the things that you do for approval because you think the world will love you, your partner, your wife, your husband will love you more, your children will look up to you more. Most of those things are actually good, and you can think about it for approval. Let me break that down for you. I like to work out, for example. And I don't really like to work out, actually. I own a gym for 22 years, and I actually don't particularly like it, but I like how I feel. I like how I look. And here's where the gray line with approval comes in. When you work out, you command respect. When you walk into a room dressed nicely, like he was just describing, you command respect. That is approval. Let's get real, okay? But why? What are you going to do with it? Is it to make yourself feel better?
Right.
Or is it because you want the authority to go in there and break up the divorce like I would and save a couple that I just met at a live show?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And in transition to this, what Cass is saying, and some of these things in activity 4, is that it's okay to respect women. You should. If you don't respect women, you're a pig. That's bottom line. But the intention, the underlying current, are you respectful to women because that's who you are? Or are you respectful to women because you want to be seen as someone who's respectful to women?
Yeah, a good example would be a man who's struggling in his marriage, and he's respectful to women because he wants to feel the validation of her giggling with him, laughing back at his joke, and just feeling validated because his wife maybe doesn't want to have sex with him.
That's right.
So I want to take this exercise. We're going to run with it. It's good. I tell men to do this in the program as well, in Man in Control.
That's right.
But what I want you to do is take that list and go, who do I want to be? Tie it to that vision you started to create. And by the way, are you catching a theme here? You should be writing things down and starting to move into the new man. If you're not going to create the new, then you're just going to try to save your old self and have to continue to break free of that.
That's right. Think about things that you do that even aren't on this list and say, why do I do them? What is the root motivation? I think that's what Glover was getting at. And it doesn't mean that we don't do them, because the intention, nobody can see but us. The outcome of these things are the same. You clean your car, you have a clean car. But did you clean your car because you don't want to be thought of as somebody who's messy?
So let me reiterate, instead of Breaking Free Activity 4, Conquer the Monster Activity 4, what I want you to do is start writing out things that you want to be. Okay. Who defines you? Because you can do that authentically and truthfully, transparently, as you, rather than fighting the guy who's doing it for approval. Okay. We got to stop fighting, because that's what's keeping you in the pain.
Right. I'm doing this because it's who I am and it's what I want.
That's right.